Good afternoon, October the 6th, 2015. Time to wrap up the day's trading. We came in this morning wanting to buy 60 to 65. And we had our sell in the 75 to 80. We basically saw a trading range with a down bias. And the down bias was this was going to be the third or fourth day higher. And if we don't take it higher and if we don't hold the length, the swing trader length in the markets, they'll sell. And the market did make it up to 82.50, a little bit higher than we thought, but we started getting really good. Got a good sell signal here. Got more good sell signals here. Got a good buy signal here that didn't go anywhere. 50% retracement, so on and so forth. And finally we get down and we get a lot of retest failure on the low. And the market traded up and out of there. So pretty good day. The assessment was the bias was to the downside, and we were a little low on our sell territory, but the buy zone came in really well. And just to take a quick look at the F2 screen, just as a reminder, where do these ideas come from? You can see right here that we had volume at 64, 65, and then we had volume in these 2 points at 78 to 79. And we thought the market would have a saddle formation. It would fill in volume right there in that space, and that's essentially what happened. So understanding structure, understanding dynamics, markets don't go straight up, they don't go straight down, can really help you make those kind of assessments and be pretty close to right most of the time. News will change things. So if you don't get the news right and you don't put it in proper context, then you can come back and pick up the pieces after the dust settles, after everybody's reacted to everyone else. So here we are looking at the F1 screen. If we don't break it and continue to sell, we can get long because we've got a higher low and a higher high. So I think the easiest trade to see is failure to take out today's highs. So can trade from the long side based on this screen. Looking at the F2 screen, got a distribution with the volume right in the middle, but you can see that just based on the volume that we got a little more volume down here than we do to the top side. So definitely a B pattern. And if the market was to close right here, we'd be trying to sell this last rotate up in F and L against 75, so we'd have a 74, 79 sell, and then an 85 to 90. The assumption is we get through that, we're going to retest the highs and or go higher. On the bottom side, we're still buying 60s to 65s like we did this morning. We have this breakout from 45. We've got these single prints in the 50 area, and we've got this B period low at 55. So our second buy would be 50 to 55. Okay, news tomorrow is pretty limited. They have Gallup U.S. job creation. We have the crude inventory numbers, so there's not much in the way of news tomorrow. So trading range market. And if we aren't able to take out the overnight session high, we'll have definitely have a selling bias to it. Okay, we had an auction today, and it was a good auction. Last the 2, 5, and 7-year auctions were really pretty good auctions too. So flight to quality, fear of war is behind this, and you can see we get nice runs. But the 10-year auction, if we're going to have a weak auction, will be the weak one. So lower high, lower low, we can sell failure to take out the 129 even, 129.04 area. And we can certainly buy the 128.20 to 24, which is where we wanted to buy it this morning. We thought that was where the best support was, and it turns out the low is 22. And the context was we wanted to be buyers today because it was the 3-year auction, and they're usually pretty good. So normally what happens in an auction is that we see the high set in the 1 to 2 o'clock area after the 3-year auction. We have that today. So basically we want to sell failure in Globex to take out 29.2904. Failure to take that out sets us up. I like the buy zone 20 to 24 still, so that'll be buy 1 where we were this morning, and then 13 to 17 because they can't take the bottom of the market out and hope to move the paper, and there's no real news to speak of tomorrow, so that usually sets up a trading range. Sell 2 will be 7 to 11. Okay, the knob spread widened today, but not a great deal. It wasn't one of those blowouts to the upside, and a lot of that is the auction. 158 basically held, but you can see we had quite a rally off the low down here. It got deeper than we thought. We thought this morning we could be buyers at 29 to the buck, right in this area right here, and you can see that we got down to 23. So it was about 4:30 seconds the buy zone, and it was our number 2 buy zone was behind us. So in period stops at 57.29. We're going to sell failure to take out 28 to 58. And because of the 10-year auction, we like the short side better. 7 to 11 for sell 2. And I'll say that with a caveat: if the bottom falls out of the E-mini, we do not want to be short. Last rotate down stopped at 10. They have a K period low at 16, so we'll split them. 9 to 13 buy 1. And we'll play for the buck to 29 for buy 2. Might go a little deeper if we break 57.08, but we'll get a better feel for that in Globex. This is a very volatile contract. I mean, when it moves, it moves. You can make pretty easily $1,000 in a day if you really work the market on a day trade basis. I'm not saying that you will. I'm just saying you can. The potential is there, but it's a big contract, and it's volatile enough to put some really sizable money, big money in the account. Okay, looking at gold. Gold's interesting. Stops above 50. We talked about where the market might go if we got through the 42 area, right down in here, that low volume number. 55 is the high volume number. That's also that E period high. So today we got stops above 50. Higher low, higher high says it's okay to be a buyer. And we don't know what's going to happen in Syria. So crude got a pretty good rally today because of all of a sudden war was in Syria was back in the news and important to some players. I mean, you always need a reason to do something. So sell 1's 49 to 51. Then sell 2, we're going to take advantage of this 54, 56, this high volume number right there, which is the attractor. On the buy side, we broke this thing out at 41, 42, a period low of 43. We're at 46, so we'll make 40, 42. Play this breakout area down here for buy 1. The assumption that they'll get stops below this A period low. Now if they don't, if it holds overnight, we're going to have to move this buy area up, and then our 35 to 37 will be buy 2. But stops above 50 has been the play, and they finally got there today. And looking at crude oil, strong market, and today, like I said, the crude market rallied and is still pointed higher. So stops above 50 is logical. There's the spill that we had from 50. We have this L period high at 49.40. We're at 48.61. So 49 to 50 is going to be resistance. And like I say, if we get escalation in Syria, or if Russia shoots down one of our airplanes, and they won't blink an eye to do that. They don't care. They shoot down civilian airliners. They do anything, and then they dare the world to do something to them, and nobody's ever done anything to them for that. So, other than give speeches, fiery speeches. So, I mean, if you're in Russia's, it would be another way to, you know, we shoot down an American fighter, and the United States does nothing. 48.75 to 49, so on. I wouldn't bet that our country would do anything. And then 49.50, 49.75, sell 2. $47.50, $47.75, buy 1. Put a question mark at 48. That's where volume is in the day session. But we're trying to pick on this high volume number right here, and we are pretty high. And then 47, 47 and a quarter. Draghi didn't make the news anywhere. But we doubted if he would say anything to upset the apple cart. And the euro was up today by quite a bit. And we failed to bust through the 13 area. We were hoping to sell 12.90s to 113 even. We do have a lower high and a lower low. So here we've got a pretty strong piece. So I think the selling comes in London. So 113 even plus or minus. And 13.25 for sell 2. The buy side, the breakout came from 50, so 12.50 buy 1. And 12.25 buy 2. That's it for October the 6th, 2015. I will see you all bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening, and we'll get after them again tomorrow.